So y'all, I lied. And I have to apologize because apparently I may have said that I was not going to buy any more palettes for 2015. I may have said something like that. I don't recall. But what had happened was I was sleep shopping. Some people sleepwalk. I sleep shop. And I may have put a palette in my cart and pressed checkout. And y'all, I lied. I am so sorry. I lied. Yeah, I lied.
Hey guys, Tiffany with another video, and this video is going to be on the new Tartelette in Bloom palette. Here is what the packaging looks like. So yeah, Tarte just like came out of nowhere and released a new eyeshadow palette. They released a new contour palette that I also picked up, but I'm going to do a separate video on so I can just focus on this palette for this video. So I did have the original Tartelette palette, and I actually recently sold it in a blog sale. Not because it was a bad palette, because it wasn't. I really did love that palette. It's just that the colors for the original one pulled a little bit more cool tone, and you guys know me. I'm more of a neutral girl, but like a neutral, more warm tone shadow girl, and I felt like I wasn't giving that palette as much love as some of my other ones, so I decided to let someone else enjoy it. But I really love Tarte eyeshadows. I feel like they are always really nice. They have like a really nice buttery feel to them. Although I have to say their holiday palettes this year have been crap. But I really do love their shadows, and I felt like it was a no-brainer for me to pick this up. I played around with it. I actually used it on this eye look. Didn't do a tutorial, but definitely if you guys want me to recreate this look, just let me know in the comment section. So yeah, let's get started. So here is what the packaging of the actual palette looks like, and it's that type of y'all know, that type of packaging right there. It does have like a mirrored back on the back of it, you know, that kind of gives fingerprints all over it. And then on the inside it does have a full-size mirror, and then you do get 12 eyeshadows. Now the thing I will say about the mirror, it feels a little flimsy to me. Like I feel like if I drop this palette, the mirror is just gonna pop out. I don't know, it just might be my mirror, but when I push on it, it like shifts, so that is a little weird. Again, it does come with 12 shadows on the inside. There are 3 luster shades, and then the rest are all matte. As with the original Tartelette palette, they were all matte, so this time around they are giving you a little bit of shimmer, so I do think that was a good thing. Like I said, I did use this palette on my eyes, so I do have somewhat of a first impression with it. But now let's just go ahead and get into the swatches of the shadows. So I'm basically going to be swatching in 3s. So here are the first 3 shadows, and then you guys know I do not use any primer of any sort, so that is how they are swatching. And this shade right here is one of the luster shades, and then these 2 right here are matte, and the name of the shades are Charmer. This one is Flower Child, and this one is Funny Girl. And I'm actually wearing Flower Child as my brow bone highlight today. And then here are the next 3 shades in the palette, and then I'm just going to go ahead and swatch them on my hand. So this shade right here is Jet Setter. This is Smarty Pants, and then right here, this one sort of blends into my skin. It's called Sweetheart, and that's actually the shade that I used as my all over lid shade today. And then here are the next 3 shades. As you can see, 2 of these are the luster shades, and this one is a matte. And I forgot to mention, those last 3 that I swatched were all mattes. So right here is the shade Rocker, and I'm actually wearing Rocker and then this color right here, which is Firecracker, as a mixture on my lid. And then this shade right here is Rebel, and I'm using that as my transition shade today. So I do really love this row. I think all 3 are absolutely gorgeous. And then here are the last 3 shades. They are all matte. These are the 3 dark shades in the palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and swatch those. So this shade right here is no, I'm sorry. Actually, this shade is Leader. I'm wearing a little bit of that in my outer V. This shade right here is Activist. And then this shade right here is Smoke Show. And it's not necessarily like a actual true black. It's more of like a grayish black. You guys know I normally like to have a black matte shadow in like every palette, but this is not like a true black. It just has more of a grayish type of feel to it. But I'm also wearing this in my outer V just to deepen up that crease as well. So after using them with this eye look that I'm wearing today, I can say that all of the shades blended out really nicely. I do think that there is a mixture of both warm and cool tone shadows in here. Like, I know I've heard some people saying that this is more of like a warmer palette, but I do feel like some of the shades pull a little bit more cool tone. So I do think that it's just like a really nice mixture in here. I do like the additions of the shimmer shades in this palette because I think that those make some really great like nice lid colors. So all around, I do think that this is a really nice palette. I believe it retails for $45, but I'll have the actual pricing either somewhere within the video or down below. Now, I did get mine from the Tarte website, but I think that you can also now pick this up online in Ulta. And then the 29th of November, I'm not sure when I'm going to have this video uploaded, but the 29th of November is when it's available for purchase in stores. But because I also wanted to pick up their contour palette, I just went ahead and picked them both up from the Tarte website. I know the big question is going to be, do I think this is a must-have palette? Do I think that this is dupeable? Are there colors that are similar to this? Honestly, yes. When I first looked at it, it instantly reminded me of my Lorac Unzipped palette. You guys know I love this palette so much. Now, I'm not saying that the shades in here are like definite dupes or anything like that, but I am saying that they are kind of similar. You guys can sort of see it's shades in here that are similar to each other. And I just think it's going to depend on what type of person you are. If you are someone who is just starting out in makeup, you don't have a lot of palettes, you like neutrals and things of that sort, like you're a neutral guy, neutral girl, I do think that this is a really nice pickup. If you are someone who already owns a lot of palettes, I think you're going to find a lot of shades in here that you already own. I think it's a great palette. I think the colors are beautiful, but I don't necessarily think that there's anything new in this palette. I don't necessarily think there's any wow factor as far as the shades go, and I do feel like I have a lot of these colors within different collections, but like I said, I just instantly thought of the Lorac Unzip palette. So it's permanent. It's not anything that you have to necessarily like run out and get your hands on. It's not limited edition. I think you have time to think about it, but I don't really feel like, as far as the holiday releases or the fall releases or anything goes, like this is anything new that you may not already have in your collection already, just depending on what type of makeup collector you are. So you guys know I have a little bit more makeup than most, so that may be why I've, you know, found so many shades that are already dupeable. But I do think that it's a gorgeous palette. I just don't think it's like something you gotta rush out and get within your collection, unless you again don't have a lot of those neutral tones and you're looking for a really nice neutral palette, because I think that would be great for travel. So that's just my opinion. Of course, let me know what you guys think of the video. If you've already picked up this palette, I would love to know your thoughts on it. And again, if you'd like to see me recreate this tutorial, it was really simple. Just a really nice smoky eye and a little bit of color on the cheeks and the lips. And yeah, until next time, bye YouTube.